What's up, everybody? This is Just Fresh.
And this is Monty Bush.
This is episode 8, baby. Jabroni Bros Wrestling Podcast coming at you guys live right before AEW Revolution. We want to give you guys a weekly update on what went down in the world of wrestling. Yo, Bush, how you been, my man?
I've been great. I've been looking forward to this day, actually.
Me too. Ever since they announced the whole barbed wire death match thing, I was like, hold on. Exploding barbed wire death match. You got me at exploding. You had me at barbed wire. I'm hooked for sure with death match. What is this match all about?
To me, I personally think somebody's going to have a long vacation.
Yeah.
Someone's going to take a long vacation, and then somebody's going to leave with the belt and have to eat those wounds.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. And we're actually going to get into some predictions on this episode as well.
Dope.
And, let's see what we think before the show actually airs.
Yeah.
But, anything else going on in your life, man? Anything, any projects or anything that you're pushing right now?
I'm about to drop that Planet Asia project this month in a couple of weeks. So please be on the lookout for that. Just follow me on Instagram, MatiBush916. You'll see me. I'm a beautiful man. It's almost impossible not to see me.
The most beautiful man in pro wrestling, y'all.
Easily.
All right, so why don't we get into some news and rumors? Let's what's going on new in the world of wrestling? You want to get into it?
Yes, sir. I see that NXT is moving to Tuesday nights starting on April 13th. The first NXT is right after WrestleMania.
Yo, so I think it's safe to say that the Wednesday night wars are over.
Yo, and honestly, thank you. Thank you. Like, I personally thank you.
So if we had to pick a winner, who do you think won?
If we're gonna actually do that,
let's. You want to go by numbers?
I'm gonna say AEW won by numbers, and it's kind of whack in a way because I feel like NXT is just now starting to get on their promo shit.
It's been killing it, right? Like they found their own flow, and it's like good in the 2 hour span, and being on Wednesday nights with USA, like. I thought it was really finding its place, but so word on the street is that because the NHL, they have more viewers. And,
I didn't know that.
And it's going to be coming to the USA Network on Wednesday night. So I guess that kind of provided some conflict with NXT. So they're moving it to Tuesdays. Oh. So that way it gives its own night. So AEW can run unopposed. I can watch NXT on their own night, and I can enjoy both. So I think it's actually good news.
See, I didn't know that NHL had anything to do with this.
Yes.
So that makes more sense.
So it's not because they technically lost. It's like, no, when it comes to programming and priorities, the NHL takes priority over NXT.
I can understand that. That makes sense.
Right?
It's not about numbers on that one, then.
Okay. Something that didn't make sense, man. Soulja Boy was talking some big shit. He said the one word that you're not supposed to say to wrestlers.
Yeah, man.
The big F word. He said on Monday night that the rap game is faker than WWE, and boy, did he ruffle some feathers with that comment.
Yeah, whatever. It's Soulja Boy. He's a clown shoe anyways. But, I mean, other than that, it was cool to see Randy respond. Somebody from, I believe, Retribution responded as well.
Yeah, I believe it was T-Bar. His Twitter game is pretty strong. If only their faction was as strong as their Twitter game.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's not. But Randy Orton stepped up and he was like, yo, basically we do this 200 nights a year. We're essentially stuntmen, but we do it on one take and we do it live, and
even with the stuntman thing, he was like, we're just not stuntmen.
Yeah.
Like he was just like, yo.
We're shooting movies.
Yeah, come through. Come through right? If you feel like this is
yeah, and even said like yo, Bad Bunny is doing this respectfully and he's killing it. Like if you're gonna talk about it, like come into our world and see what it's really about,
And shout outs to Bad Bunny. Because honestly, ever since that little rope slip, this dude has really stepped it up a lot.
Yeah.
So good for him. But yeah, shout outs to Randy Orton for even saying what he said. Soulja Boy, I mean, come through and catch that 24/7 title and get smacked up real quick. Other than that, whatever. It's Soulja Boy, whatever.
Yeah, that was some kind of bad news, man. I hate to see stuff like that. But
some more bad news.
Yeah, man. Let's get on to some more bad news. And we found out that Jim Crockett Jr. passed away due to COVID-19 at age 76. Now, for those unaware, Jim Crockett, he had some kidney issues prior to this, and he was on dialysis, but his kidneys and other organs, they began to shut down. He was best known for his time in NWA. Mm-hmm. He was the president of the National Wrestling Association, and eventually they went head-to-head with WWF back in the days when WCW was first forming. And yeah, man, legend in the wrestling game.
I remember being a kid and actually seeing NWA, and then they did like a promo where he actually is talking about selling it to Ted Turner, which turned into WCW. This is back when I was a baby, basically. But I always knew exactly, who Jim Crockett Jr. was.
Oh yeah.
So
Jim Crockett Promotions.
He's a staple.
Yeah.
He was, the territory type of wrestling.
Yeah. So rest in peace to the legend, man. Again, such a huge contribution to the wrestling community.
Yeah.
And, our contribution is this podcast, is our humor, is our expertise. But, you really did a lot. So much respect to you.
Well, speaking of humor.
Humor. It's been kind of crazy and pretty funny. But Vince McMahon, he's been pretty upset about people slapping their legs in pro wrestling.
Yeah, this whole no knee slaps.
Yeah.
No thigh slaps.
So for those unaware, in wrestling, you'll often see people go for a big kick, say a super kick, Shawn Michaels. And when he goes for the kick, the impact that you hear is not only him kicking him, but he also slaps his leg in order to add an added sound effect to be the same effect of if you were in a fight scene or in a video game. Bush, what example did you have earlier?
Wait, with the thigh slap?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said the sound effects or something like that?
Yeah, it's basically a sound effect. If you can't watch an old kung fu movie without hearing the... Because you want your punches to sound like that when you throw them.
Right.
And that's kind of what you want. When you kick somebody, you want to hear that crack. You
know
what
or
I mean?
even when for people, if you train in boxing, like me and my partners, when we would train, we'd be
yeah.
it's kind of like a breathing pattern as well. So I get it.
I want to hear that crack.
Man, if we're going to talk about some crack, let's talk about something that was raw.
Raw crack. Now, don't mean Nia Jax. I'm sorry.
Yo, we on that Trouble in Paradise right now, baby. Yo, cheers.
Cheers.
It's episode 8, man. We're having a good time. Woo! Okay, so yeah, man, let's get into Monday Night Raw and what we had our thoughts on the episode. So, again, we don't like to go, fight for fight, match for match. Let's just talk about the stuff that was really hot.
Yeah.
And what I enjoyed was the opening of the show, man. I thought it was hilarious, man. We see that Drew McIntyre just in the ring, and he's kind of explaining what's going on with his situation, no longer being the WWE champion. Miz comes out to plead his case that, it's not Miz that he should be pissed off at. It's actually Lashley because he's the one that beat him up, to cost him the title.
Mm-hmm.
MVP interrupts, coming out with his pimp cane. And he's like, you know what, Miz? That's cool and all, but look, your match with Lashley is in less than an hour. So you better get your ass ready. We're not playing with you no more.
Just seeing Lashley walking to the arena and being like, Miz is going to be the one that stops me from making history.
Right.
Yeah, right. Now, see, when he did that, I couldn't tell at the time if this was going to be...
Was it going to be the night?
Yeah, I couldn't tell. But, for him to say that was I felt that. I was like, yeah, I'm feeling that.
Right. So that actually led into the first match of the night, which was Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. What did you think of that match, man?
I'm looking forward to finally seeing these two get in the ring at a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it on TV. I want to see it either with some type of stipulation.
So that's actually funny that you mentioned that because to me, I felt like they didn't have that much time leading up to WrestleMania. So they were like, yo, we have this Monday Night Raw. Let's give them a cool 3 segments on TV and make this a full pay-per-view style match. And that's essentially what it was. This ended up being, at least I perceived it as their blow-off match. Sheamus, he attacked him. He basically turned on his best friend of 20 years. And now he's like, yo, I want this title. I don't care what it costs. And I loved it, man. This match was hella physical. Sheamus was really digging in on this. There was a moment in the match where he did like a knee to the face while Drew McIntyre was down, and it looked like he was really hurt. It looked like Drew was like a lightweight concussed, and he started throwing in like forearms on him while he was down, and it was just like, it really looked like a very MMA style match.
To me, I mean, when you got these two in the ring, whenever you face Sheamus, honestly, it's gonna be physical,
right?
And being the fact that they are, actual friends, it's weird. It's a weird thing to understand, but like, they're fighting each other, and they probably were like, nah, you don't take it easy on me, don't, you know what I mean, type of thing. Like, yeah, we got to do this.
If we're gonna do this, you're gonna lay it in.
Yeah, and like, it's probably mutual.
Yeah.
So, dope. But I really wish this was on like a pay-per-view.
This deserved to be like a main event on a pay-per-view. This could have been like a Fastlane pay-per-view for Drew.
Easily. And
Easily.
This actually
it deserved those non-interruptions.
Yeah.
Easily. But the finisher of the match was actually, I think, one of my favorite parts of the whole match. They both go through the finishers at the same time. The bro kick versus the Claymore. And it was really who's going to strike first. The Claymore ended up landing, and it caught Sheamus mid-air. And, Drew goes on for the win.
Good. I mean, well, all right. Well, next.
So, you know what, actually, what do you think they're going to do with Drew, man? Do you think they're going to slot him back into the WWE Championship scene now that we know what's going to happen? Well, you know what? Should we talk about that later?
We could talk about it. We'll talk about that after Fastlane.
Okay.
Let's talk about after Fastlane, because I think Fastlane is going to be the transitional point.
We're going to figure out, we're going to know for sure by around Fastlane.
Yeah, easily.
Let's talk about Braun Strowman and his role. What they've been really playing up with him, man. He ended up teaming up with Adam Pearce after he was pretty much talked into it by Shane McMahon and for a tag team championship match against the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, man. What did you think? Did you get a chance to check that out?
Personally, I thought that this was just more of a storyline to other things. It could have easily went, they win the title, or they lose the title, and there's a storyline to either side if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
But I was here for it as far as like, let's see what happens.
Yeah. Now I liked it, man, because I think it's playing up. We're getting an idea of what's going to be happening with Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. I think that he's going to be going up against Shane McMahon in some kind of capacity. And I think we're going to end up seeing Shane McMahon jumping off of something tall, or like, going through something huge against someone like Braun Strowman, and potentially against Adam Pearce as well, because he was playing up the fact that it's like, you guys have both been screwing me out of these matches, and you took me out of the Elimination Chamber when I should have been rightfully there. So I see something going on with that.
And Adam Pearce has just been, screwing up a lot of different things this week.
Yeah.
So his name is definitely up there for some type of a get back.
Right. I think he might catch these hands.
Yeah, I think he might catch these hands.
Someone that really caught hands this week was The Miz, man, because the main story of Monday Night Raw was Bobby Lashley versus The Miz. Now, we previewed what MVP said in regards to, you have less than an hour to see my man Lashley in there. And honestly, this was the highlight of the week, man. The first time that the match, so we finally got to the 9 o'clock hour, and we see Lashley in the ring, and we're waiting for Miz to come out. Lashley's just waiting there, and like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And we see Miz in the back, and he's like faking, or saying that he has stomach cramps.
Yeah.
And boy, was he playing that shit up, man.
I mean, it's The Miz. It's The Miz. Like,
that man is an actor for real.
He's great at what he does, man.
Yeah.
He will annoy the shit out of you.
So he basically says he's unable to compete, and he's trying to get the match postponed to WrestleMania. So Lashley's pissed. He's like, you know what, screw this. And he heads to the back and he beats his ass. Pretty much.
He has a spine of like Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yes.
Not the wordplay, but the spine.
Yes. He's a weasel, to say the least.
For sure.
So they end up talking to the officials, Adam Pearce and Shane McMahon, and they postpone the match, and they say, okay, well, we're going to make this happen at the 10 o'clock hour. So round 2, when it's actually time for the match to come down, Miz makes his way out, but this time, as soon as the bell rings, he hops his ass straight out of the ring, grabs his title, and runs his ass straight to the back for a count-out finish. And he's like, all right, cool. By getting a count out, that pretty much means you do not lose your championship.
Right.
And yes, you lose the match, but you keep your championship.
I used to try to do this on WrestleMania on N64, and you would never you would do it. Yeah, you kept your title, but you would lose you'll say you lose.
Yeah.
So now we're about to find out why you lose.
So because he did do that really pissed off the officials and of course Bobby Lashley. They go back and they talk with Shane McMahon again, and they're like, all right, look, we need this match. We need this match tonight. Like, we're not playing around no more. And Shane declares that if Miz doesn't fight, that he will be stripped of the WWE title. And he announces that he's going to make a very special stipulation for this match so that the Miz can't get away. And we find out later in the main event that is now a lumberjack match. I thought that was excellent. What did you think?
I did not know that you could still somehow get disqualified in a lumberjack match. I didn't know that could be possible because he tried.
Yeah, he tried.
He tried. I didn't know that was even possible.
But let's talk about what actually happened in that match, man. So once the match actually got started, man, Lashley whooped that ass. He dominated off top, man. It was almost a squash match.
Yeah. It was basically a squash match with Miz doing a whole lot of acting before that.
But you know what?
Which made the squash match that much better.
You need people like that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna beat someone, and this is the great thing about Bobby Lashley, this whole past year. So let's look at where he was before. The prior big storyline that he had was he was with Lana, right?
That's right.
And basically Rusev was cucking out, and Bobby Lashley was pretty much with his wife. He wasn't doing anything until MVP came into his life about a year ago.
Yeah.
And what did you say? We saw that segment where MVP was backstage and talking to him about, look, man, you're so much better than this.
Yeah, he was like, look what you're competing for. Look what you're doing. Like, yo, you got to believe in yourself.
And they came into WWE roughly around the same time. So it's like, yo.
Yep.
And I later found out that they had a history working together in Impact Wrestling. And when he was a part of the Beatdown Clan, they were actually a part of him winning the Impact World title.
That's right.
So let's look at it full circle now. MVP now is his manager.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Lashley is the CEO of the Hurt Business.
Yep.
In this match, we see him whoop Miz's ass.
Yeah.
And
it was excellent. It was excellent.
Let's talk about the conclusion, man. We see Lashley hit a huge one-arm spine buster, hits Miz with a spear, and Miz ends up tapping out after he gets hit with the Hurt Lock. That's the full Nelson thing. And man, we have a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion
on Raw.
That was great, man.
On Raw.
Now, if you are one of our loyal followers at Jabroni Bros Pod, you already seen us. We did an instant reaction on Monday night to this news, so this is nothing new to you. But man, this is a big deal, bro. This is literally the third African American champion that we've had in WWE, and
there was a lot. There was a lot of mixed emotions about this one, from what I saw, because I saw some people trying to get at MVP about this.
What'd you see?
I saw that this isn't always about race.
It's not a black thing, right?
It's not a black thing. And then The Rock had to step up.
Yeah.
And The Rock came in and was like, no, yeah, it is. That's what's up.
Because representation matters.
Yep.
When there's a child out there, like both of us have, we have young mixed
Hell,
kids.
when we were mixed, but we have, we're mixed kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, you need a champion that you can look up to. You need someone that you can look at and be like, yo, that can be me.
Yep.
I have 2 boys at home. He has 1 boy at home.
Mm-hmm.
Our boys both love wrestling.
Yeah.
Or all 3 of our boys love wrestling. It's like for them to look at someone and be like, yo, it's like, okay, they didn't get to experience The Rock like we did.
Nah.
They got to experience Kofi Kingston.
Yes.
But they can for sure experience Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah. And, my son really does love The Rock.
Right?
He loves The Rock.
Both of my boys love The Rock. But they see him as movie star Rock. They see him as Fast and the Furious Rock.
Right.
They don't see him as WWE superstar The Rock.
Yeah, see, my son is watching the show. The new show.
Yeah, Young Rock?
Young Rock.
Did you see this week's episode?
I have not seen it yet. I plan on watching it tonight, and I cannot wait.
Okay.
Me and my wife actually agree on this show.
What does she think about it?
She loves it. She absolutely loves it.
My fiance Trang loves it as well.
That's dope.
Yeah, like it's just a great show. My boys love it. I love it. Okay, so then episode 9, we'll talk about more about it.
Yeah, and then but overall, Bobby Lashley is being celebrated this entire week.
Yeah, man, it's a celebration and it's the right time. They built him the right way.
Thank God they didn't do any funny business on him.
They're really I've been seeing a lot of talk of this Brock Lesnar match, man. And
good.
I think if there ever was a time, now's the time.
He pumped it on one of their podcasts recently.
Yeah, on the After the Bell podcast with Corey Graves.
Yep, he's been pumping it too. He's like, yo,
he wants it.
He's like, where's Brock at?
Why not?
You know what I mean? So it's like he's calling them out.
Yeah. Okay, so Bush, if you had to give the show a grade from 1 to 10, what did you say Monday Night Raw was?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Respectable score. I gave it a 9 out of 10, man. And I'm gonna tell you why.
That's a good one.
Whew. I didn't really care about all the filler matches.
Yeah.
The whole storyline, the whole night with Bobby Lashley, you know, they carried something with the round 1, you know, with Miz not showing up. The round 2 with Miz actually showing up and then running away. And then round 3 when he couldn't run away anywhere because the rings was surrounded with WWE superstars, man. They had faces and heels were like, nah. Get your ass back in there, Miz. You gotta run this fade. And
that was
great, man. And again to have like a new African American champion and Bobby Lashley, just to see the tears from his eyes when that happened. And to see how much that meant for him, you know, and just the reaction that we got, even on Twitter and stuff, just from us pushing that, I was like, yo,
the reaction we got from Twitter was crazy.
Crazy, man.
Shouts to all y'all.
Yeah, man. Like the wrestling community's been showing up and showing out, man. And I really enjoyed Monday Night Raw.
I don't blame you. It was good. It was worth it. And I'm very happy that WWE didn't do no funny business.
Word up. Okay, so let's go on to the Wednesday Night Wars, man. Which show did you end up watching first?
You know what? First show I watched because of Instagram, I watched AEW.
How could you not, man? They had the advertised match of Shaq and Jade Cargill versus Cody and Red Velvet, man. And it was hard for me not to choose anything else. So personally, I picked AEW first, man. Did you want to get into that next?
Yes, I do. I want to do it right now.
You want to get into it right now?
Right now.
Let's get right into it, brother.
Oh, man.
AEW Dynamite, man. Cody and Red Velvet versus Shaq and Jade Cargill, man. What'd you think?
The fact that they made this the very first match of the night opening,
off top some fire.
Super fire.
Right?
And I thought it was the smartest idea because we didn't know it was going to be fire or not, but they put it first. And everything else had to come up after that.
Yeah.
And it lived up to the expectations.
So what did you think about Shaq actually in ring as a wrestler?
I loved it. I love Shaq because look, the reason why I loved it, he played his role to the T.
To the T, bro, perfectly.
And Cody made him look like $1 million.
Yeah, I agree, man. I thought that Shaq came in there powerful.
Yeah.
He and then he came in there. They did a little lockup, and then after that, he hit him. They hit him with that power bomb, showing love to Brody Lee,
man.
Like
when I saw that, I instantly.
He's really part of this. He's not just a part-time fan. Like he's really part of this wrestling community.
And Cody played it up. I mean, he gave him a power bomb, bro.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I saw a non-wrestler give someone else
a clean one,
a clean power bomb, take a chair shot from the outside, body slamming people, from pulling them out of the fans. You know what I mean? Like, Shaq was lit, dude.
But it wasn't only Shaq that really stood out in this match, man. Jade Cargill was looking fire here too.
No, they did great. The women did great.
Yes.
Jade was a former basketball player as well.
Yeah.
And she looks like incredible. She looks like she looked incredible.
I found out that she's actually one of Mark Henry's students too.
That makes
all the sense in the world. Okay, so she got into the game through Mark Henry. He also introduced Bianca Belair. So think about it. He's got two of his prospects. He's got one of them going to WrestleMania in the main event in the women's match, and then we have one debuting with Shaq. Yeah. So Mark Henry's doing it right, man. So from what I heard on Busted Open earlier this week, Mark Henry was talking about he put her in contact with Rip Rogers who was one of the like OG wrestling trainers, and he ran her through all of the training that she did with men. So it was like he was like, yo, put it in, give her the same amount of pressure that you would a male wrestler, and she succeeded. And she was like, yo, is that all y'all got? Like, that's it?
That's dope.
So
good for her.
Yeah, man. So Mark Henry was saying that she's taking it hella serious. Her debut was great. I thought she looked, not only is she beautiful out there, but is she like actually looked like she knows what she's doing.
Right. No, she definitely looked like she knew what she was doing.
She's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah.
She's gonna be a big deal. Big problem. Let's talk about the funny moments in the match, man. I think my favorite part of the match was when we saw when Cody ended up hitting that big cross body and knocking Shaq down to the outside, and he went straight through them tables, and that boy went night-night.
It was excellent. The fact that Shaq took all these bumps, and he was like, "No, I want to take all these bumps. I want to make sure that I show up. No, give it to me." Like that was great.
Yeah,
that was great. That's great that he wanted to do that. Nothing but respect to Shaq.
Soldier Boy ain't built for that.
No, he ain't built for that life. You don't want that crossbody, bro. You don't want that. Yo, Superman, that out of here, man. Let's get that. But no, man. Shaq, yo, he did his thing, dude. I'm so proud
for this.
I'm proud of him.
Yeah, he like we had Snoop on Dynamite like a couple months ago, or I want to say at the beginning of January, and he did that bullshit splash. But like, and we had Bad Bunny on Raw doing that slip ass fall.
Yeah,
but
he's also stepped it up too.
Yeah, Bad Bunny,
he's stepped
up. We mess with Bad Bunny around.
Yeah.
But Shaq, you did it right, brother. And
Shaq came through.
It was a hell of a debut for AEW.
Yeah, look, I can't wait to see Shaq again.
Yes.
I can't wait.
You know who else I couldn't wait to see, man, was FTR with Tully Blanchard. They had a match against Jurassic Express, and that was a hell of a match, dude. We saw J.J. Dillon come back, baby. Some old four horsemen came out, baby.
J.J. Dillon was out there, bro. I was dying.
And that's if you don't know anything about Bush is a huge Ric Flair, Four Horsemen era, WCW, like, he's about that Crockett life. Like, my man is about the old school wrestling, man.
Yo.
That's his people, so.
Seeing J.J. Dillon and Tully Blanchard playing it up, just being on the apron, looking lost and confused, and then knowing when to pick his spots.
Right? How about when he faked that he was gonna go for the dive and he went for the flare strut afterwards? Like, I thought he was going woo for a second. Like that was clean, man. But yo, did you see when J.J. Dillon came out with the shoe?
Yeah.
Old school wrestling, baby.
If you don't know what I'm doing right now on the mic, it's because I just threw up the 4.
You threw up the 4, baby.
Throw up the 4 real quick.
Yo, so I think we're going to see a new 4 Horsemen within AEW, man, because we saw Shawn Spears. He interrupted throughout that match, and they later revealed, like, he took off the hoodie and the mask, and we saw he now has blonde hair, and he was always been represented by Tully Blanchard in AEW. So I guess they're kind of combining the two, and I think they're going to be teasing a new superstar or the 4th member of the AEW 4 Horsemen. What'd you think about that, dog?
I thought it was excellent. The fact that they're doing it, I love FTR.
Right?
There's nothing wrong with them. FTR is amazing. I want the belts on those guys sometime soon. Other than that, it was a good match. It was, there was a couple spots, but I mean, Jurassic Express, it's probably going to happen just because of the style of wrestling they do. But overall, it was a good match.
Word. Do you recall the press conference that the Inner Circle had with MJF?
Yeah. Was that the one where Eric Bischoff decided to show up?
Yeah, man. Eric Bischoff showed up. We had a couple reporters from Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
We had Conrad Thompson from Something to Wrestle and 83 Weeks and Grillin' JR and, the Podfather. That's my dude, man. I love his shows. But man, I didn't even really write too many notes on that, but I was really digging that segment, man. That shit was hilarious.
I thought it was funny. I liked the replay back, of showing the Young Bucks father. Shout outs to him though, because
Papa Buck getting that ass whooped.
Yeah, he wanted to really get cut open, and that's all I kept thinking the entire time when I saw it. I was like, he really wanted to get cut. You know what I mean?
I like the little subtle jab that the Young Bucks, when they came out and confronted Jericho and MJF. And they said, if it wasn't for us, you guys, you would be down at the Performance Center jerking the curtain. So basically,
the curtain.
like, bruh, you need us.
Yeah. No, that was excellent. I love that part too.
Yeah, man.
In
case y'all didn't catch that, that's a jab at NXT.
Yeah. The Sting thing was really good too.
Yes, it was.
Sting with Darby Allin. I thought that was cool. It wasn't enough to talk about, but
it's just filler, bro. It's just filler to get us into the actual pay-per-view because we're gonna see that Fire Street fight, and I'm ready for that.
Other than that, that's all we got really.
That's really all we're gonna talk about for AEW. I mean, we can get to a little bit of the predictions, but I mean, let's just do it. A couple predictions. Okay, so who do you think is gonna take since we're talking about the Young Bucks versus Inner Circle for the Tag Team Championship? Who do you have on that?
I'm gonna go with the Young Bucks.
Do you think they're gonna retain?
I think they retain, I think they retain because I feel like Sammy Guevara is gonna come out.
I can see that.
That's
actually a pretty good prediction. I'm gonna go Inner Circle.
Okay.
You know why? Because I think that it's time for them to solidify something with Jericho and MJF. And by them having the title, then that's even going to cause bigger dissension. Yes, I could see Sammy Guevara coming out at Revolution, which would be a perfect time for him to bring him back. But I think that they can do more with them as the tag team champions. And then, you know what? Damn it! Now that I think about it more, the big story here is the whole Good Brothers and Young Bucks thing.
Mm-hmm.
Young Bucks are going to keep the championship. Young Bucks are going to keep the championship.
Okay.
Because there's going to be dissension in some form. Or if they don't, it'll be because the Good Brothers cost the Young Bucks the tag team championship.
Okay.
And MJF and Jericho retain. Inner Circle are going to get the tag team championships. That's my prediction. Okay. How about the exploding barbed wire death match? Who do you have on that? Is it going to be Kenny Omega or is it going to be Jon Moxley?
I got Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega retaining. Yeah.
You know what? I hate to agree with you, but I think it's going to be Kenny as well.
Yeah, I think what's his face wants to go ahead and take some time off.
Yeah, man, it might be time for him to take a little nap and enjoy his time as a new father.
Yeah.
And
why not?
Take some time off like Seth Rollins did when Becky had her baby. So it makes perfect sense to me. And then Kenny Omega can continue to go on this run, and they can continue that whole New Japan storyline and all that.
Olivier.
Yeah.
Kenny Olivier.
If we had to grade AEW Dynamite, or do we have any other predictions that you want to get into? How about Matt Hardy and Adam Page?
I'm actually looking forward to that. I would like to see. I'd like to see Matt Hardy win.
Matt Hardy win?
I would love to see Matt Hardy.
So the stipulation of that match is that whoever wins gets their whole first quarter earnings. So it's a big money match. So it's like money talks in this. I'm gonna go with Hangman Adam Page.
Okay. See, I have a stipulation for Adam Page's money.
Okay. What's that?
For his contract. I feel like sure you beat me. Now here's what you get. Isn't he part of like the whole reason why this whole thing started too as well? AEW?
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the original guys that they were really pushing. He was the first guy to challenge Chris Jericho for that championship.
Yeah, so we're going to actually see what his real contract is. Matt Hardy might not get anything.
True that. How about the street fight? Who do you think is going to win? Is that going to be Sting and Darby Allin, or do you think it'd be Team Taz?
I think Team Taz is going to win, and here's why. It's not because I don't like Darby Allin or Sting. I feel like one of them are going to turn on each other. I feel like there's going to be a backstab on one of them.
Who would it be?
I would say it's Darby to Sting, but I remember Sting telling Cody, "You never know what I'm going to do."
Okay. You know what? Let's go down that rabbit hole a little bit. I'm going to go into some predictions real quick. Let's take it back a little bit.
Okay.
We were talking about FTR and Tully Blanchard.
Yeah.
They're going to be forming a new Four Horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea who will be that fourth person. Because we know it's FTR, so that's two people.
Right.
Shawn Spears.
Yeah.
Who do you think would be a good fit for that?
In just that alone.
In the current roster with AEW.
Ooh, in the current roster. Not talking about surprises.
No surprises.
Oh God. Yikes.
You know who I'm going to say?
Who?
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know why? He's already with Arn Anderson.
Why not?
We saw Arn come out there. He threw up the 4. Yes, Cody is leading the Nightmare family, but Cody always wanted to be that big guy. You know, he wanted to be that Dusty Rhodes.
Why not?
He wanted to be that big flamboyant guy like his father. And we've seen him go through the whole. I mean, he's currently blonde.
Yeah.
We see Shawn Spears is blonde. We know those two are like best friends.
Let's go.
Just putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I can be completely wrong, or they could just, change gears. But if I'm going to go prediction, I could be right in about 6 months. Y'all going to be like, yo, Just Fresh, you had that down. But
we need to insert the X-Files theme song in
there.
We need that.
But yeah, man, that's my big wrestling prediction. If you had to grade AEW Dynamite from 1 to 10, what would you give that, sir?
I give it about a 7.5.
A strong mid.
Yeah, a strong mid. There's a lot that I feel like AEW it doesn't need to be on TV.
I feel like AEW is hella hit or miss, man. One night, they'll give you like last week, they gave you that fire,
insane.
But this week it was extremely mid.
It was very hard to catch up after that
we had that
match.
big match with Shaq. If it wasn't for that Shaq match and that FTR match, I probably wouldn't have watched Dynamite. I was gonna keep it 100.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
I give it a good solid a mid and a half. Yeah. So 7.5.
Yeah, mid and a half. I'm feeling that.
How about NXT, brother? Did you get a chance to check that out?
NXT was one of my favorite shows of the week.
Oh, okay.
Easily.
Let's talk about it.
My favorite part of this whole thing was Johnny Gargano and his family going to therapy.
That shit was hilarious.
It was insanely funny. I'm sitting there the entire time going, okay, now I know why Johnny Gargano hasn't went to the main roster. You know why? Because he's too good at his job. He's
too great at NXT that if you were to take him and put him in the main SmackDown or Raw roster, he would get watered down and Vince would not get him. They need to keep him in this current environment because he is on fire.
He reminds me a lot of Chris Jericho from WCW.
Ooh.
He has the same charisma as that Jericho.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the man of 1,001 moves.
Yes. Arm bar. You know what I mean? He has that charisma.
So what happened during the therapy that really got you? Me personally, I loved how Austin Theory was like, yo, man, I just got to chill out there. I got to hang all day and just eat cereal. It was the greatest time. I got to watch cartoons. That was hilarious to me. And we see Indy Hartwell back there. She's just like doodling and shit. She put Indy Hartwell Loomis. She's in love with this dude, man.
No, she's like, I'll be friends with benefits.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, she's
She
awesome.
put it out there. I was like, okay, girl.
That a girl. And this fool comes, Johnny Gargano gets kicked out, comes back. He's like, hey, man, anybody wants a Postmates or anything?
This fool's out there texting Candice LeRae the whole time, responding.
I loved it. I loved everything about it. He pays off the therapist.
Yeah, man. That was a great segment. And that ended up being... NXT's really been stepping it up. They've been doing the whole 3-segment thing. That's the main story throughout the night. Yeah. And that was another big one. Last week we had the whole Cameron Grimes. It was a step 1, step 2, step 3 with the whole money and the dribbling the basketball. But this week we ended up seeing the whole family therapy thing. And then that was hilarious to me this whole week, man.
As far as wrestling is concerned, that Timothy Thatcher match.
Yo. Okay, so the tag team was... I don't think it was for the tag team titles, but it was Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher.
And that was fire.
Banger. First match of the night, yo. Just off the hook. We saw Tommaso Ciampa, and he was just pretty much like, yo, I'm ready for this. I don't care who we challenge, but I'm ready to do this. Give me the championship, and I'm ready to run this. But before the match even start, we saw Timothy Thatcher was backstage with Marcel Barthel from Imperium, man. And we know they have some history together from the old days with them and Walter from NXT UK, Imperium leader.
And I love Walter. Walter is my guy.
I put my boy Matsi onto that Walter versus Ilya Dragunov match from NXT UK for the championship. Yo, match of the year 2020 type shit.
Easily.
With no crowd.
No crowd, just smacks everywhere. Yo,
right.
I remember I tweeted about it. I was like, yo, the main roster needs to be worried.
Big time. Y'all got big problems with Walter.
Big problems.
But yeah, man, so this match was a banger, man. One thing I noticed that Thatcher, he was selling his neck injury the whole match.
He did. He sold that very, very well too. He was just, he did a good job at that.
Yeah.
Thatcher's dope though.
Yeah, he's already been on our radar as one of like the rawest wrestlers, you know. Yeah. Again, he's one of them cats that's going, stretch you after a couple of whiskeys down at the old tavern, man. Like,
I'll stretch you.
Yeah, man, he's a Sacramento dude. So, much respect to Timothy Thatcher. But we ended up seeing the win from Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch after we saw a distraction from Imperium out on the stage.
That's right.
And it caught the attention of both Ciampa and Thatcher. We see Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch hit their tag team finisher to get the win.
That's right. And Thatcher's like pointing, you know what I'm saying? And Ciampa's like, what the hell's going on? Like, what are you looking at? And it was worth watching, dude. It was a good match. I was not expecting it, to be quite honest. And now that I saw it, I want to see more of Thatcher.
Yeah, and we've been seeing little traces of dissension between the two. I could see Timothy Thatcher eventually joining Imperium and then just be like, yo, you don't need Ciampa. Just turn on him, do whatever you got to do, and them even having a stronger version. Can you imagine Walter out here, man?
Walter at NXT
with Thatcher?
With Thatcher. That is dangerous.
Right?
For that entire roster.
Right? That's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another problem that we had, man. We had the Women's Tag Team Championship. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai.
Shout-outs to Dakota Kai for me.
Right?
Because she really did a good damn job. I loved everything about this match.
Me too, man. Now, it was really cool because for the long-time NXT fans, those know that Shayna Baszler and Dakota Kai have a long history together.
Yeah.
And actually, Dakota Kai was injured by one of those, when she does that move where she twists out the elbow and she stomps on their elbow, that injured Dakota Kai. I think she was out for a few months because of that. And Kai was basically telling her, like, yo, that's the old me. So don't think that you're going to be fighting the old me.
Yeah.
The same with that. And she stepped up.
No, she did a great job. Seeing Gonzalez come in the ring too, great job.
Gonzalez is ready.
Yeah, Gonzalez is dope, man. It was a good match. But when she kicks the referee, I knew something was up.
Right.
But I didn't see that other part coming.
Yeah, man. So the other part we're talking about is Shayna Baszler. She puts the Kirifuda clutch on Dakota Kai. But we know that she's not the legal person.
Right.
Raquel Gonzalez, she goes for a huge dive out to Nia Jax, who's out near the announcer's table, and they kind of fly over. And Raquel Gonzalez, she's actually the legal person. Now, we see Adam Pearce, of all people, from Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. He sends out a referee and tells him to basically, yo, count this shit. And because Shayna Baszler, she put the hold back on Dakota Kai, and Dakota Kai's basically out.
Yeah.
So he's like, yo, finish this match. Like, it's done. But again, Dakota Kai wasn't the legal person.
Nope. Definite screw job.
Word. Is this the NXT screw job?
This is an NXT screw job to keep the titles on Nia Jax and Shayna, so that way they can keep them over into their area to represent
main roster.
Yeah, main roster, SmackDown. We got the titles. Nobody else does.
Yeah, and William Regal was pissed.
Yeah.
He was pissed. We saw him backstage. He was like, yo, this ain't cool. You could see he was trying to figure something out. And we found out that he's going to be making some kind of announcement. And it's rumored that there may be a new NXT Women's Tag Team Championship that they're going to put out.
It's cool. I mean, to me, it's like, all right, that's cool.
But what the hell is the point when there's only tag teams in NXT and there's no women's tag teams on the main roster?
Because, like, on the main roster, you put two singles and put them together.
Yo, name 3 tag teams on Monday Night Raw that are on the women's. I can only name 1.
Yeah.
You know who I'm going to name? Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. Who else is a legit tag team on Monday Night Raw? They just threw Naomi and Lana together. That's not a real team.
No.
Like, who else is there? They had the whole Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce. That's not even a real tag team. Hate to break it to you.
You got to bring back the Iconics.
They should have stayed together in the first place.
You got to bring back...
But Billie Kay's been on fire by herself, so it's like, what's the point?
Once Asuka lost her tag team partner...
Yeah, because Charlotte and Asuka aren't a real tag team.
Nah.
We didn't talk about that, but basically Charlotte declared that she's going to be going after Asuka when she's back.
Oh, yay.
That whole storyline was ass anyway.
Yay.
And the whole, once Lacey got pregnant, she killed it.
Yeah. And we heard that Lacey was supposed to win the title at WrestleMania.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, we heard that. It was like, oh.
Should have held out, sorry.
Damn.
I'm a gold piece, what can I say?
Ouch.
You know what else was ouch? That main event, Finn Balor versus Roderick Strong, because Roderick Strong got the boots to that ass.
You know, Roderick Strong is better than I thought.
Roderick Strong is a strong mid. He is about as mid as you can get in regards to like, yo, this dude could be so much doper, but he's a Dean Malenko.
Damn. I like Dean.
I like Dean too, but he's mid. He's ultimate mid card.
Yeah.
You've never seen Dean Malenko as a world champion. You've seen him as a United States champion or a light heavyweight champion. That's Roderick Strong.
And Dean was actually on the main roster.
Dean was that dude.
Yeah, I mean, Dean helped people in the back.
Yeah, he cruiserweight as well. Like,
yeah, cruiserweight as well. Roderick Strong. I mean, I hope you step it up even more, sir.
Yeah, man. I mean, we pretty much see that the Undisputed Era is falling apart. But it was really dope.
My man came out in his own clothes. Once I saw that, I was like, yo, Undisputed is done.
Yeah, man. He had no J's on like everybody else. What I tell you, man, once you got them J's on, that's when you know you're at that championship level.
Yeah.
So Finn Balor, he's like, yo, I know how we can get Adam Cole out here. Yo, next week, it's going to be me versus you for the NXT championship. And he's going to get that work.
I thought it was funny how they have their like own little things, like Finn Balor's all like this, and Cole's like this.
I'm gonna point at myself.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna shoot a gun at you.
Yeah.
Bang bang.
Bang bang. Can't wait. I hope it's a good match.
If you had to give a grade from 1 to 10 for NXT, what would you say, my man?
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 9.
Whoa.
I'm gonna give this a 9 because I loved everything about Johnny Gargano's. The whole family.
You know what? I forgot to mention how much I love the whole Cameron Grimes segment.
Yes, and see, on Hulu, I couldn't watch it.
Yo, Hulu's been kind of messing up for you, right?
Yes, Hulu is trash right now, messing up my SmackDown and my NXT and my AEW, where I can't even hear anything. I can only see stuff, and then sometimes not even see Cameron Grimes.
Whack.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? What's up with my premium, son?
So if I had to give it a score, I'd give it a strong 8 out of 10. We saw the debut of LA Knight, which was kind of cool.
Cool.
Eli Drake, he ended up costing Bronson Reed the match against Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes.
And that was cool, man. Overall, I did enjoy the therapy segment as well. So it's like, how could you not be with it, man? Let's talk about one of the best shows in wrestling, man. Friday Night SmackDown. What did you think about that, bro?
SmackDown was cool. It was cool. With Daniel Bryan coming out and doing his thing, trying to talk up the crowd, yeah, I deserve this. Look at how long I lasted. Look at this fake champion.
I've been wrestling the most matches out of everyone, and he basically called out Roman Reigns. Was like, yo, I've had more matches than you in the last 3 months than you have in the last.
I actually see Daniel Bryan turning into a heel.
I think he's just talking his shit. I don't think he's necessarily going to turn heel. He's basically like, yo, y'all have to recognize me. I'm about to be a full-time dad. If y'all don't put me in a position to be that dude or to be that dude against Roman Reigns, then I'm out.
Hey, there's that too. There could be that too. Cue the X-File music. I feel like Daniel Bryan will end up screwing Edge at WrestleMania.
You're talking that talk right now.
I feel like Daniel Bryan would screw Edge at WrestleMania.
I could see that. Oh man,
it was either going to be Daniel Bryan screwing Edge or Christian screwing Edge.
Wow.
It was one of the two.
But I don't know where to take it from.
but that I'll bring it back.
Okay.
Roman came out. Roman comes out, grabs the mic, and starts talking that talk. Starts saying, look, I love the business. You need this business. I love it. They need me. Mm-hmm. This cameraman needs me. Mm-hmm. Paul needs me. You know what I mean? My cuz needs me.
I am the business.
Yeah, I am the business. You know what I mean? I loved it.
The story of pretty much SmackDown was like, yo, how are we going to solidify Daniel Bryan's spot at Fastlane. So pretty much he had to go against main event Jey Uso, Young Uso, in a steel cage match. And the whole night, man, we kind of just seen like Roman pretty much telling him like, yo, man, you need to be there. Like if you don't win this match, you're disappointing the family. So it was a big deal. We'll get into that in a little bit, but we're going to talk about some other things that happened throughout the night. We saw Reginald, man. He gets my boy young Reggie. He gets fired by Carmella again. Like what the hell? I thought he was already done with her.
It was cool. It was whatever. Like, oh, you got fired. Sure. We'll see what happens to Carmella.
So he's pretty much just like campaigning to really be down with Sasha Banks. And he ended up trying, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair ended up having a tag team match against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And he almost cost him the match, but Bianca Belair ends up getting a roll-up pin for the win. She get the KOD into a pin.
Right.
And then later on in the night, we saw that Reginald was pleading to Sasha Banks. He went to her door, knocked on it, and Sasha Banks just slams the door in her face.
Yeah.
And we see him taking basically the walk of shame. And Shayna Baszler and Nia, they interject. Shayna's like, yo, you smell like failure. But Nia Jax was like, oh no, he's kind of cute. But I can see them basically using him as a pawn to cost them to cost Sasha and Bianca the tag team championship at Fastlane.
Yeah, I could see that because could you imagine them being tag team champions and taking it to WrestleMania? Yes, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
But
who's going to take it from them?
Yeah.
You know? I don't see them just holding it forever.
Nah, there's going to be somebody that comes in eventually.
But then again, that goes back to, we don't have no real tag teams, and the real tag team that we had should have won it on NXT.
Yeah. Possibly William Regal makes that happen. Where he says, no, we're going to wrestle at WrestleMania.
Maybe we'll find out on episode 9.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so another great segment in the night, we saw Buddy Murphy versus Cesaro. Now, it looks like Buddy Murphy, he's trying to get back on TV, man, because he's back with Seth Rollins again. What the hell's going on with that?
Right, so shout outs to him for being back on TV. But last time we saw him, he was basically like, I'm my own man. Then he comes back and he's like, hey, yo, let me help you out, brother.
Right? He was trying to slide with Dominic's little sister. But now, he's back because clearly that didn't work out.
Nah.
But, man, we see him versus Cesaro in a match, and it was kind of a squash.
Kind of wish it would have had more time, to be honest, because I feel like those two would put on an excellent match.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy's dope in the ring. He has all the tools, but he hasn't clicked personality-wise.
He kind of reminds me of Jerry Lynn from ECW days.
That is a hell of a comparison because Jerry Lynn was my dude, and his wars against RVD, man,
were sensational.
Yes.
See, and I feel like if Cesaro had that with him, you would get the same type of feel. Because I get that from him. I feel that he's like Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, dude. And you know what else I was feeling? Apollo. My man is fully embracing the culture, baby. Now, we talked about this last week. We were reporting about, does that necessarily make him a heel just because he's going full out Nigerian representing his royalty? But this week he came out. Not only was he fully embracing it, he came out with a spear and 2 royal guards. And correct me if I'm wrong, did that brother have some twins?
It looks like he had some twins.
Brother had some twins and some army fatigues, baby.
Yeah. Twins and army fatigues.
He is a problem.
That's a Nas verse if I've ever heard one, man.
But yeah, man, we noticed that he's fully embracing it. He's coming out with his Nigerian accent and saying this is the real him, and the world needs to just accept that.
Yeah.
And that Big E pretty much disrespected him, and that all he could hear was his ancestors being ashamed of him because of how Big E was talking to him, man. And he demanded an Intercontinental Championship.
It's when you have somebody like that feels like, I've been disrespected. My ancestors feel some type of way. I got people guarding. I got to live up to this royalty. Man, that can make for a good match.
Yeah, man, and we were talking about this last week, and we've seen a couple other people, just kind of pop up talking about that. And it seemed like our take was kind of similar to some other podcasters.
Oh no! It seems like our take is the take, and it's okay. We get it. We know you watching. We know you hear us. We know
who we are.
Yeah, you know who we are. No follows, but we follow.
Yeah, we're humble.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But I fire people that are humble. So
talk to him, Bush. Talk to him.
I'm just saying. I you know what I mean. I might need a cup of coffee. Wake the game up. But other than that,
we don't say no names because we're not haters like that. We understand we're a new podcast.
Yeah.
But once we have our legions of fans, we definitely gonna be calling some people out.
Definitely.
Just let y'all know we see you.
Yeah.
And
we're playing our position.
It's not hard to see that we said it first.
Yeah.
And you know what's up.
Yeah, you know what's good.
And you know who we're talking about.
All that blah blah loudness.
We don't do that.
We don't need to do.
We don't need to yell. We're already funny.
We're here there. You know,
you know what else was funny? That main event, Jey Uso versus Daniel Bryan in that steel cage match, man. Early in their night, we saw Roman Reigns and Jey backstage, and he pretty much told him like, "Yo, you're embarrassing the family if you don't make this happen." And basically, Roman was like, "Yo, I need you to win this match because I'm not trying to fight this dude."
Yeah. Come on, bro, do it for me and the fam.
Do it for the fam. I ain't trying to take this one. It was a great match. Overall, it was everything that you expect in a steel cage match. Jey Uso, he's been continually evolving as a competitor. He went from being the tag team champion with the champions with his twin brother, Jimmy Uso, and he's really been stepping it up ever since he's been a singles competitor. And Daniel Bryan ends up getting the win after tapping out Jey Uso with the yes lock.
Yeah, I mean, it makes for a good match to get to Fastlane, a good segue into that. Kind of saw it coming.
Of course, we talked about it last week.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. But
educated wrestling fans.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I'm looking forward to it at Fastlane and see what happens.
Yeah. If you had to give SmackDown a grade, what would you give it from 1 to 10?
I'll give it you know what? I'm gonna give it about an 8.5.
So clearly, we like what we're seeing. Like
this whole week has been really good.
It's been good. It's not WrestleMania, but it's good. Yeah. Now, let's get into our wrestlers of the week, brother. Who'd you think, if you had to pick from maybe 1 to 3 people, who were your best wrestlers this week?
Okay, so being the fact that I said what I said earlier, off the mic, off camera, I'm actually going to put one more person in there, and I have to put this person in there. So
talk to me.
I'm going to go ahead and do Bobby Lashley.
Okay.
I have to put him in there.
Mandatory. Mando.
Number 2, I'm going to give it to Johnny Gargano.
Ooh.
Because Johnny Gargano, his promo and his fam cut the dopest segment on NXT.
Okay.
And number 3, I'm going to give it to Shaq.
Ooh, okay.
Because Shaq showed up and impressed the hell out of me, man.
Okay.
He's a superstar. He don't need to be out there. He's old school, you know what I mean?
He didn't have to do that.
He didn't have to do none of that. And he was...
There's a whole new generation of fans watching him now.
I'm going to take a table spot. You jump on me, I'll just fall backwards. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that won't take that chair shot.
Right.
And at his height, his size, and his age...
Still moving swiftly.
Yeah. And doing a beautiful powerbomb in a beautiful tribute to Brody Lee.
Yes. R.I.P.
Top 3.
My wrestlers of the week. Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Because representation matters. The great storyline that they've been carrying for Monday Night Raw, it's impossible for me not to mention him first and foremost. Number 2, Shaq.
Yeah.
Because this is a hell of a debut, man.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it all the way 100, man. For him to come out, he's not normally in the ring. He went and did this match with Cody, and really, we're just talking about Cody and Shaq because those are 2 people that really stood out. Red Velvet, yes, you did you tried.
Red Velvet did good. She did good.
You didn't stand out nearly as much as Jay did, but
and neither one of them stood out more than Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq is a superstar, and third would be Apollo Crews. Because again, embracing that culture, coming in with he got twin guards, they're putting the rocket on him and they're letting him really run with the ball, man.
There was a little heat on that guy too at the end of this. Some people are
I don't like he's talking, he's coming out with a spear and he's talking with an accent that's not his real accent. It's
we're watching. This is entertaining.
It is no different than watching Black Panther.
Yeah,
someone talking with a Wakandan accent. Enjoy it. It's wrestling.
How do you know he wasn't talking with the accent beforehand, and now he's actually just talking his regular talk?
Right?
Like, give him some props, man.
Yeah. And plus, Apollo Crews was born in Sacramento, so you already get that love from me.
Yee!
Match of the week, brother. Who did you have for... What was your match of the week?
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to say Cody Rhodes and Shaq. That was my match of the week. I loved everything about it. It started off AEW.
Yep. Instant funk. You know how we do.
You had to come to that level because it really did reach a level that I didn't think it was going to. Mm-hmm. It matched the hype that was around it. And I wasn't expecting anything from Shaq like that. And I wasn't expecting anything from the women like that, to be honest, because I had never seen either one of them wrestle. So I'm going with that. I was really impressed with that.
Okay.
And that's not to discredit Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
But that was super surprising.
Yeah. Bobby Lashley. It just means a lot. Yo, like...
I'm not mad at that.
The whole 3 match... You know what? Rewind. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus.
Woo!
That was a banger.
Really?
Okay, yeah. Yes,
that
was so important that Bobby Lashley won, but the match itself was just really a squash match.
Okay.
That Drew McIntyre and Sheamus match was lit. That shit was lit this week. Best show of the week. What'd you have?
Now this is gonna surprise everybody. NXT.
Hey, okay. Okay.
NXT's overall, completely.
It's been lit.
The storyline, the promo, the wrestling, Imperium coming out, I did not see a lot of this happening, and it was dope. Overall, it was super tight. It was a good show. The main event was good. We knew what was gonna happen, but still, Finn Balor, it's Finn Balor. It was a good match. It was a good show. Hands down, my favorite one of all of them.
My show of the week was Monday Night Raw.
I don't blame you.
I'm sorry, but for it being so if you've been following the show, I've never picked Monday Night Raw as the or as the show of the week. At least I can't think that I did. If you're one of our loyal followers, you can correct me on that. But for it to be a 3-hour show and for them to keep me intrigued the whole night with the whole Bobby Lashley thing, I had no idea if he was actually going to actually win. And it wasn't until you texted me, you're like, yo, I saw something on social media. Text me when you're available, when you watch Raw. And I was like, oh shit, something's happening.
I didn't want to give it away.
Yeah, and I appreciate you not fully spoiling it, but just to give you the heads up, yo, don't go on your phone. I knew from that moment on, oh, something real's going on.
Yeah.
And I already knew, I was like, oh, I think it's gonna happen tonight. And it happened. We got Bobby Lashley as the new WWE champion.
It was surprising as hell, man, honestly, because I've been looking at social media all day. You guys got to understand, I'm at work most of the time at nights, so I don't get a chance to really sit and watch everything. I have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, he doesn't catch them live, but he does catch the shows.
But I catch clips and highlights on my phone as much as I can.
Yes.
And that's why I texted him and was like, yo, don't go on your phone, bro. Do not do it. You're going to flip out when you see this.
Yeah, and it was great, man. Great week in wrestling.
It was a beautiful week.
Yeah, man. How can people tap in with us? What do we got going on next?
We got the review coming. Now I'm not gonna be able to be a part of the review this AEW review, but that does not mean you shouldn't watch it and listen. Because my man Larry be taking notes.
Yeah, brother.
Just Fresh ain't no joke on that.
I think I'm gonna jump in and should I just do the review by myself?
You might have to on this one.
Hey man, if I have to, then I'm a rocket. Either way.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give y'all a real reaction to what we thought of the show. I'll be putting some of Mati's input on this. He'll be watching most of the show.
Yes.
But yeah. So for those that are going to be rocking with us, for those that have been rocking with us, once again, we do appreciate you guys.
All of y'all.
You've been following us on Twitter at Jabroni Bros Pod. You've been following us on Instagram. You've been messing with us on YouTube, liking the stuff, subscribing, sharing with your friends. We see each and everything, and we truly appreciate you. I think that's going to wrap it up for the show, brother. What do you think?
So, yeah.
Episode 8 in the books, man.
Yep. We're ready to go watch this AEW
Revolution.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to conclude the show, guys. This is going to wrap up the show.
Yo, I'm wrapping up the show.
I'm off this Trouble in Paradise, man. I'm feeling right. That Malibu boo. My name is Just Fresh.
And I am a beautiful man, Mati Bush.
This is the Jabroni Bros Wrestling Podcast, episode 8. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Woo!